So you want to see the changing of the guard ceremony when you're in London? Well, I'm going to tell you 5 important things you need to know and what to avoid so you can have the best experience when you're here.
By the way, I'm Jess, founder of Love in London and a local ambassador for Walks Tours, the best way to see London.
It doesn't happen every day. Don't rock up to Buckingham Palace willy-nilly thinking, we'll be able to see the ceremony, because it might not be happening. Generally, it only happens on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And sometimes it still doesn't happen if there's like a special event or something going on. So you'll always want to check the ceremonial schedule on the Household Division's website before you come to see the ceremony to make sure it's happening on the day that you want. And we've left a link to that website down in the description box of the video. Understand what you're actually watching. What actually is the changing of the guard ceremony? You'll appreciate it a lot more if you know what's happening and why. Since 1660, the sovereign and the royal palaces have been guarded by active duty soldiers, the ones who wear those iconic bearskin hats and red jackets. And the ceremony that takes place at Buckingham Palace marks the moment when the guards currently on duty, the old guard, switch places with the ones coming onto duty, the new guard. So basically, it's a shift change. Both guard duties are usually provided by a battalion of the Household Division, which makes up a part of the British Army's London District, who perform state ceremonies and public services in both London and Windsor. Alongside this, there's a full military band playing anything from traditional marches to your favorite pop songs. So the ceremony is quite the example of UK military tradition and the very close ties between the armed forces and the monarchy. There's a lot more to it than you think. Most people think you just need to be next to Buckingham Palace around 10:45 a.m. to see the ceremony, but there's actually a lot more that goes on.
Around 10:30, there are guard inspections at both St. James's Palace, which is here, and Wellington Barracks, which is here. You can see some action at both places as well as marching bands. Around 10:40 is when the guards at both of these spots will make their way to Buckingham Palace for their part of the ceremony. So in theory, you could watch the activity at either Wellington Barracks or St. James's Palace, or both if you're up for a bit of a run, and then follow the guards as they march to Buckingham Palace and grab a spot somewhere up here to see it from a distance. But you won't be able to see the changing happening inside the palace gates. If you really want to see that part, then go here early to claim your spot, but you won't be able to see any of the other activity going on, which leads me to my next point.
You might get stuck for a while, so prepare for that. I find that people underestimate the crowds that gather to watch the ceremony, especially in the summer, and therefore there are a lot of crowd controls in place and police. So if you do want to be next to the palace gates to watch the actual changing happen, you should expect to get there by 10:15 a.m. and to probably not be able to move much from that spot until about 11:45, maybe even noon. So don't plan anything in that time period because you might end up missing it. It also might take you a while to get away from the palace because the crowds near it are always very slow moving. You get the most out of it with a tour guide. If you're feeling overwhelmed with the logistics of trying to see each part of the ceremony, I totally get it. You want to make sure that you are seeing as much as you can and also enjoying it. And this is best done when you do it with a tour guide. They'll tell you everything that's happening right in front of you. They'll take you to the best and most quiet viewing spots and also tell you royal family stories along the way. Take Walks has lots of options for seeing the changing of the guard with a local guide. So to see them all and to book one for your trip, just scan the QR code popping up here or click the link down in the description box.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and visit takewalks.com for the best tours in London.